What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist 8. Justin here, and I hope you're having an amazing week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really does mean a lot to me, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. Now, the theme of this week's monthly spread is going to be love, Cancer. Whether we're looking for love, in love, or just a need for some self-love, Cancer, this one's for you. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems, feeling lovely. Just good energy all around here, Cancer. Now, Cancer, with this spread, I'm going to be going till higher self says stop. We're just going with the flow here. And just so you all know, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply the energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? One. And then lastly, the decks that I'm using. Oh. Don't panic. Oof. Not really good confidence, huh, Cancer? The decks that I'm working with. This one is the Light Seers Tarot deck. And then this one here is the Anatomy of a Witch Oracle deck. And I'll include links for these decks and other decks that I like using down in the description box below. So definitely check that out if you're interested, Cancer. But interesting, Cancer. You know, I feel like that we're in this place right now, Cancer, where I feel like we're really thinking about what does love, what I almost want to say even like what does unconditional love look like, you know, or this could be just love in general, but I feel like that maybe our thought of love, you know, has been maybe flipped upside down here as of late. Not just because the Ace of Cups is in reverse, but I just feel like that maybe here recently, that maybe our ideas possibly of like maybe what a family looks like for us, or you know what we want in our family, you know, I feel like there's this challenge of, you know, maybe some of us may not be feeling as stable in ourselves as we would like to. You know, maybe this was something where we were leaning on family for a while, or I won't say, you know, I'm not going to put it as intense as maybe codependency, but possibly, Cancer. You know, I feel like that maybe this is something where we may have lost ourselves in a relationship, possibly. And now maybe we're at this place right now with this Judgment card coming into the mix here, that we're thinking about how do we get back to loving, really, I feel like loving ourselves again, and really getting, how do we get this foundation back, you know, get it to where we feel secure in ourselves, you know, maybe even possibly in being alone, Cancer. And I feel like that, because here's the thing, Cancer, when it comes to love, because this is good energy here, and I feel like Leo had something similar. At least they had the Judgment card as well, which, you know, with the energies that are going down, you know, this is things are going to be changing in all aspects of life, in business, just in regular, you know, and just every day, in love. We're going through a transition period right now, Cancer. So this, if anything, this is good, you know, and it may not feel good at the moment, but I feel like this is a good time for you to, good time of self-discovery for you, Cancer, and to really feed yourself this Ace of Cups here, you know, especially if we just got out of something and we're not you know, we're feeling a little lost right now. This is the Nine of Pentacles is, I want to say this is Venus in Virgo. I think this is Venus in Virgo. But the whole point of that is to mention is, when I think about Virgo energy, and I think about, because Venus has to deal with the heart. I feel like that this is, Virgo can deal with like routines. And I feel like that Cancer, this is going to be a time for you to get into a routine of learning how to love yourself and really make that a point, because the Ace of Cups for me is a really beautiful card, Cancer. And the Three of Cups, oh, this is Mercury in Cancer. We're going to talk about that in a second. But the Three of Cups is really, this is like, this is, it's unconditional love. It's becoming a bottomless well of love and endless love and compassion and I feel like, Cancer, take all that natural nurturing energy that you have and pour that into you right now. I feel like that this, especially if we're going through something right now, if we're not feeling as stable, this could be financially stable as well. Maybe we got out of something and we're readjusting altogether. Emotions, finances, this could be something where maybe some of us might have just gotten out of a marriage possibly. Maybe we're just like, everything's just really topsy-turvy right now. We're going through some big transitions here. And Cancer, when I was mentioning that being Mercury in Cancer. Mercury in Cancer is a very sweet kind of placement. You got a lot of water and earth energy, a lot of feminine energy here so far. And Mercury in Cancer is very sweet energy in the sense of like, it's very nurturing in how I feel like it communicates. And it's very, very, very emotionally in tune. And I feel like that this is under, and Mercury is not even just how we communicate, but is how we think as well and how we write, all of that, and process information. So I feel like this energy is, asking us to process this information, Cancer, and be compassionate with yourself. Be loving. Don't beat yourself up on this thing. We may have gotten a little lost in a relationship, maybe for a time, maybe for a spell, but you're growing. The fact that you're even, thinking about these things, you're getting ready to ascend here, Cancer. And if we're in a relationship right now, if we're feeling like that we haven't been feeling this love, or that we haven't been feeling this stable, because it may not be that your partner is doing this for you, or partner, friend, family member, however this, we're translating this love, Cancer. If there is a feeling of instability here, this could be, when I'm talking about the Mercury in Cancer, this could be something where it's just communicating your feelings, letting these feelings be known. It's just like, hey, it's not that, because it may not just be that this person wants you to be codependent on him. If that's the case, Cancer, it's just like, you might just want to mention like, hey, I feel like I'm kind of losing my identity in this relationship, and I want to take just some time to kind of find me, kind of maybe doing some separate stuff for yourself, if we're in a relationship, and there's nothing wrong with that, Cancer. I feel that when you have this trust in a relationship, that there shouldn't be a problem when you need to take some time and do some self-growth here, because there are certain things, Cancer, that we need to do by ourselves, that another person can kind of help us along in this if we feel we need the help. But there are some times that we feel that we need to take some time for ourselves as well. And if that's a need of yours, Cancer, if that's something you've been feeling, taking that time and not being afraid to express those feelings, if that's the case, because it's going to be healthy for your relationship as well. And Cancer, be fair too. This is something that, if this is something that you want, expecting, if your partner asks the same, or your friend, family member, then that's totally fine. And I think that's more so geared towards like a partner. But yeah, if they request the same, then it's like you honor that, because they've given you, hopefully we have a deep enough bond, and we're respecting each other enough, and we love each other enough, and to have that emotional wisdom and understanding that you're doing there's some growth that you're needing to do, because we can do self-love in a relationship too, Cancer. This is not where something, if we need to focus on self-love, where it's like, I'm saying you need to isolate yourself, you need to break off whatever relationship you're in and be done, be a hermit. But it is asking you to take time to hermit, take time too, if we do feel, because sometimes too, Cancer, especially being a Cancerian, I have a sun in Cancer, we have a tendency to take on the energies of the room. We're very, we feel out. It's like almost sending out like we fill the room with the water and we see, what's going down in there. And sometimes, Cancer, we need to remove ourselves from the energies just to find ourselves again, because we can, in nurturing, we can be, because I feel like when Cancerians love, man, do they mean it. And when we pour ourselves in love and we're nurturing others, we can give so much. And it's not that I feel like they're even like asking for it. We just inherently can give so much. So make sure that you're giving just as much to yourself as you are to others here, Cancer. Whew, that was a mouthful, Cancer. Anymore. I was going to say, man, we might just do the whole reading off these 4 cards here. Man, I'll tell you what, Cancer, sidebar, I don't know if you're noticing this, but depending on when you're watching this, Mercury, I'm releasing this, I'm recording this on the 3rd, but Mercury moved into Pisces yesterday on the 2nd at about 10 to 6 or so. And I'll tell you what, Mercury in a water sign, I just find that I'm able to express myself more fluidly. My Mercury's already in the 12th house, so it's like, that's all nature my problem. But hopefully you're noticing too that it's just like maybe that I feel like this is a good time for water signs here, Cancer. Especially if we're trying to whatever ascension that we're going through. Just a little sidebar, Cancer. But let's figure out what other energies are going down here. Yeah, man, that was that was a whole lot, Cancer. Oh, so was that? Hold on. Let's see what else we got cooking up for your love life, Cancer. Oh, interesting. That's another. Oh, 2 aces here, Cancer. Cancer. In both of them in reverse. Cancer, with the Ace of Wands popping up in reverse, I feel like that. I feel like that this is something where try not to rush this experience right now. There's something big that's going down, and I feel like that this is going to be a time where the body is just kind of processing that. The energies are going through a shift right now. So things may be feeling out of whack right now. We may be feeling a lack of motivation, maybe even like our feelings might be feeling like just a little wonky right now. But I feel like for some of us, making sure that we're dealing with this, that we're taking the time out and not rushing that, giving yourself adequate amount of times to nurture yourself, because I feel like that is going to be to your benefit, especially with these aces popping up here. If we work with these energies right, I feel like that this ascension here, you'll feel a lot freer. You're going to feel a lot more like yourself here. Not, Cancer, honestly, even better, But I also feel like with this Ace of Wands here, that some of us, let's say we just got out of a relationship, I feel like that, and trust your judgment, where you're at in your journey. But I feel like that some of us may want to pause for a second if we're kind of in between relationships right now. Really take this time and get your energy reserves back up and get your because our energy is low and our cups are low, and it's time to refill that, this to me gives me very drained energy. And like, it's one thing to just be like physically drained, I feel like, with the Ace of Wands, but then you throw an emotional on top of that can just almost even get to the place of just like a really raw type of feeling where it's just like, where you don't even have anything like, I'm just like, I'm out. Yeah, I'm like, I have nothing left. Like, bye. I feel like that this is, make sure that we're taking that time, Cancer, because that little chunk of time can be crucial for some of us, to find that. And then Cancer too, I feel like, and I didn't think to mention this to Leo, but being mindful too, when I tell you to, or when I, hint at you to, kind of check your chart, or it's to understand, how we do in love, because, our Venus placement, that's a big way of how we love. Our moon placement too, I want to say, is another area. It's like, it can tie in about how we want to be loved. And understanding those placements are important, because then you can kind of understand compatibility. And it's not to say, like, for example, like a water and a fire sign, like let's say if you have like an Aries moon and like a Cancer moon, or Venus, that they can't get along. It's just that that energetically, that okay, we are opposing forces here. How do we implement that, as opposed to if it were like a water and an earth sign, it's a little more natural. They got feminine energies here. They complement each other more. So this is something too. Learning yourself, figuring out how you operate energetically. It's important too, Cancer. More. Let's see what else we got. Boy. Wow, Cancer. Jeez. Cancer. This, pause. All Cancerians, pause for a second, because we need to get an understanding of what's going down here. 3 aces in a row, Cancer. That's not happened for a reading before. And they're all in reverse too, Cancer. This is going to be a good time for all of you, relationship or not. Understand how you work. This is going to be, because the aces are new beginnings here, Cancer, and these for me are like seeds that need to be watered and need to be nurtured. So we need to get our heart, our head, once we get our head and our heart lined up here, Cancer, then we can start taking some action. But this is something that is going to need to be worked on. If there's any kind of imbalance right now, if we're feeling that we're not getting if we're not being met emotionally, if we're not being met intellectually, let's say, like there's no kind of conversations or anything like that, there's, because Cancer, this is a lot, especially being in reverse. I feel like this is going to be a really transformative time for you, because you see everything else is in reverse other than this Judgment here. So if there are any areas in our life where we feel like that some love needs to be, or some areas that need some love in Cancer, take the time and give it that space, and understand that how important this kind of stuff is here, Cancer, because when we work on ourselves, it helps us think clearer, it helps us feel, we can navigate things more just more efficiently, and there's not all this confusion and all this doubt and these insecurities. This is, this could be also where, if some of us might possibly in a relationship, take it as it resonates, that maybe some of us are feeling the heat for something new. Maybe we're noticing that you're noticing all of those things, that this relationship, we're not feeling our emotions. It's just like something's happening. There's a disconnect when we communicate. There seems like we're always fighting all the time. No one wants to do anything. There's no passion. I don't even mean just like sex, Cancer. There's no passion, no intimacy, no nothing. Because it's because relationships are bigger than sex, Cancer. Intimacy can be just like, are we hugging? Just like like little touches or anything like that, physical touch. If these things aren't being met here, Cancer, I say, I would never tell you what to do, but I feel like it would be in your best interest or something to consider, talking this thing out, Cancer, making these feelings known. And I know that can seem scary, because maybe we're worried that if we address these things, maybe things will go south, and then we're worried that we're going to be, it's going to throw us into a place of instability. But you know what, Cancer? Sometimes in order to make the most of these ace situations right here, we have to make space for stuff. If there's no more room for growth here, no more room, we're not, there's no reciprocity, nothing. It's time for both of you to change. Because here's the thing, Cancer, you're not just doing this for you here. If things are no longer working, you're doing this for them as well. And they may not feel it in that moment, but they'll come to appreciate it later. And you'll come to appreciate it too. because this will show you as well when things aren't working for you, because that's a hard decision, Cancer. If this is resonating with you, if we need to make that kind of call like that, it takes a lot, but transformation, judgment, it can be a lot. And you know what, too, Cancer, when I'm thinking with this judgment, let's keep this a judgment-free zone here. This type of stuff here, this is a lot of sensitive areas right here. Whatever is going down, make sure that we're in a safe space and, keep this a judgment-free zone, because this is important. We want to make sure that, that we understand what's going down first, and too, that the other person understands what's going down. But yeah, Cancer, if we're in something and we're feeling all of this stuff here, again, I wouldn't tell you what to do, but analyze how you're feeling right now. If we're not feeling at our best, if we're not feeling good in this thing, Cancer, change is going to happen regardless. And this is not me trying to scare you, but if things aren't working for us, Saturn's going to be moving into Pisces soon, and with that, we're going to have to face reality, is what, at least how this energy is kind of like feeling out for me. So just something to be mindful of, Cancer. And you know what? If we're feeling this way, if we don't love ourselves, Cancer, let's talk about that too, because that's equally important. If we're not feeling Ace of Cups for ourselves, Ace of Wands for ourselves, if we're not thinking highly of ourselves, absolutely take this time, like I was saying again, and pour that love into yourself, and be aggressive about it. I'm all about positive affirmations. Get a bunch of sticky notes, post those bad boys all over the place if you have to. Any sort of ways that we can, and do loving things for yourself, and it doesn't have to be anything expensive. Take yourself on a day to a park, go read a book in the park, or go for a hike in the forest, go to like your favorite cafe or restaurant, treat yourself to dinner. I think I might have told this story last time, but a good way to treat yourself, and really, this woman, I used to work in food and beverage back in the day, and there's this woman that came in. She was living her best life, got a full course meal. She was by herself and was reading a book, got a thing of wine, was just enjoying herself, really treating herself, Cancer. And usually when you would think, people would think like, oh my goodness, this woman's so lonely. No one thought that. Every person that because I was the one that started her off. And then, as people were coming in, it's just like, is she waiting on someone? I was like, no. It's like, wow, that's amazing. I would love to do something like that. Usually that's usually the response. Man, I wish I was that confident to do something like that. In Cancer, what a better way to lift your confidence too. Treat yourself to something like that, because that's what most people think. Go to a movie by yourself, do something to enjoy yourself, just to get these aces back in line here, you ace. Because seriously, Cancer, in like all the readings that I've like ever done, just to date, I've not had it where it's like, three aces come up like that. And especially coming up in reverse, Cancer, we got some big things that we need to think about, I feel like. So more. Yeah, all these aces. And that's something too, Cancer. I hope you know you're an ace. And that's not just me saying that really just because that's my sun sign, of course. But this is the energy that you're bringing me, Cancer, one. And two, this. I'm not really sure, because this is a lot, Cancer, and I really feel like that it's something that, wow, those two, jeez, let's see, man, Cancer, okay, Ace of so for the win, Cancer. Where do I even want to start? I need to switch back over for a second, Cancer. So, Ace of Pentacles. This for me is investing. You guys, I got to switch over for a second, Cancer, because I need you to understand what just went down here. For real, Ace of Pentacles, and you see me shuffling. This is what I mean. You know, this is something, a time, Cancer. Invest in this energy here, because if we do, Cancer, how do I want to put this? If we invest in ourselves, Cancer, whether we're, because this can be done, whether you're in a relationship or not anymore. I don't think so. Whether we're in a relationship or not, you know. Okay, let's get back here so I can give you a bird's view here. Whether we're in a relationship or not, you see this, here you are, Queen of Cups, and here you are, King of Cups, or this could be your counterpart here. But divine counterparts, Cancer, if you work on yourself and work on making sure that we're taking time to invest in ourselves, your relationships with you, with your partners, with everyone, with society will be abundant. And this may be something, Cancer, that this may feel uncomfortable. This might feel new. You may feel like I was like, you know, because Cancerians are so quick. We want to take care of everybody else, but we know sometimes we may not take enough time for ourselves, Cancer. Experiment with that. See where this takes you, because Cancer, this can get you to a place. Look at where this ascension is taking you. Balance, an emotional balance at that. These two are the most, one, like 400 things. These two for me, of the court cards, we're not going to talk in the deck, in the court cards, these two for me are the most intuitive figures. It's for most intuitive like counterparts, because they're so in tune with their emotions, they're in tune with the energies, they're all about self-care, emotional wisdom. I mean, really, these two, the only other couples that could rival them as far as compatibility for me would probably be like the Hierophant and the High Priestess, but wherever it's like transformation. Cancer, you're going through a transformative time. We all are, Cancer, and this is something that, we want to make sure that we're in harmony here and that we're taking care of ourselves, because there's a lot of new things that are getting ready to happen. And this could be too, Cancer. You know what I'm thinking? This could be something too, because this, again, doesn't just have to be in love. This could be where maybe if we're even thinking about like a partnership or something like that, to start up like a business, a band, or whatever, any kind of collaboration, do it. Make that happen, Cancer, because this is insane. Tell them, you two. That's so sick, Cancer. You don't even understand. Well, you will. You will, Ed, when you start working on this. You absolutely will. Let's get some oracle cards so I can get you out of here and experiencing this epic tale here, because, man, I thought you came here for love. You're about to leave out of here with enlightenment. I don't even know what to do. These? Okay. Hold on, Cancer, this is ridiculous. Let's switch back over. We good? Yeah, we're good. Let's try this again. Okay. Nice. Everything's upright. I'm with it. Because this is going to be Cancer. So let's start with the hands. The hands card for me is really just getting a clear understanding about what's going down here, seeing what opportunities are out there for you, and really in really grasping the situation, you know, like the power that can come from, you know what, I feel like that it's you know what, let me put it this way. I feel like the hands are almost like you extending a healing hand, whether this be, you know, really Cancer, start here, you know, and then go out, you know, because I feel like that with this, you know, because your next card is the maintain, the maintain card, and I feel like that it's taking that healing energy and making sure that all of our where are we at? Wow, where are we at? Mind, body, and soul, Cancer. And when we find that, when we figure that out, abundance happens. You know what I mean? Because the aces, this is the universal. This is what happens when we work with the energies. The universe provides you these options here. The aces are just like universal, like, okay, you're ready to work on emotions. Dope, here you go. Okay, oh, you need the energy for that? Here you go. Like, it really can be. When you put that energy and you become that beacon, it's all a matter of perception and vision. You know, both of these. Be a clear picture, Cancer, of how you want to grow and what areas are you lacking, and then let's get a game plan. Let's get an idea of how we want to grow in this, because this can be something where if we're in a relationship, you know, if you focus on yourself, that may even inspire. Where'd your partner go? That may even inspire your partner to start doing some stuff for themselves, and then you're growing as just emotionally as a couple, and because these two give me power couple in the sense of just like they trust each other. There's this unconditional love here. When Queen of Cups needs to take her time, King is like, go, bae, and then vice versa, see ya, you know. And then when we're together, it's harmony, you know. But Cancer, it really is just, what do you envision? You know, where let's get eyes on where we need some love in here, Cancer, because I tell you, when you do, the universe is going to pay you back and then some, and you're going to feel, I mean, a new sense of, you thought you knew what stable was. You about to be just a whole, let's change the game up, Cancer. I don't even know what to say to that, like, other than epic. So I'm leaving that there. Fantastic, Cancer. what an amazing love reading, you know, for just wherever we're at in love. Things are looking up fantastic, because you know what, Cancer, you may have thought, well, how's that good? All the aces were in reverse, because the fact that they even popped up like that, reversal or not, shows me that these energies are at your disposal right now. These channels are open for you right now. Tap into them. You know, when they present themselves like that, that's an area for you to correct, you know, for you to get some wisdom out of. Reversals aren't just meant there to be like, oh, your life sucks. No, it's like, hey, there's an imbalance. What do you want to do about it? What do you want to do? And what's your vision? And then make it happen, Cancer. That's the beautiful part of it. I was like, I'm about to get back into your reading. if anything resonated with you, Cancer, give that a thumbs up. And Cancer, share that. Absolutely. Because this is the kind of confidence I feel like that everyone honestly could need, not even just Cancerians. This would benefit. Just tell your friends, like, tell them to check their charts, and if you know what, whatever, just share this, Cancer, because that was really, really fantastic. And then where else? Subscribe, hit that bell button. You get notified when I release videos each day. And then Cancer, you know what? While you're working on your love, possibly building up yourself with all these affirmations, you know, as far as like social media goes, I started this new group on Insight Timers, this meditation app, and we're not partnered or anything like that, but the group is called Zodiac's Raising the Vibration, and it's a place where you can post just you know, any kind of affirmations that you either come up with or that you might come across. Maybe you think of some encouraging messages, or also, you know, something you may come across, but just drop those little nuggets. It's a safe space for everyone to just kind of come and feel uplifted. If we need just like a little bit of inspiration or something along those lines, it's a space for that. The app is free, and if you get curious enough, they have a premium or like a plus version for it too. So check that out, Cancer. I've been working with it, or utilizing it for years, and I personally enjoy it. So that's how I social media, Cancer. And I'm still figuring out how to get it onto like YouTube and to Instagram. I managed to get it on Facebook, okay? So I probably will just, if you're following me on Facebook, I'll try to include a link in that regularly until I figure out how to get it into the other spots as well. So stay tuned for that, Cancer. But it is up and running, and I'm making it a habit to just drop, and it don't even matter what time, Cancer. I'm just dropping little bits of just positivity whenever I feel like it. But I'm making it a point to do it daily. So right now it's a party of one, but you know what? It'll grow, because that's how it does, Cancer. We focus on, we pour energy into ourselves here, and then abundance comes. And then lastly, Cancer, you don't even have an excuse. Cancer, you gotta, one, you have a ticket just being a Cancer, so just come on over anyway. But then seriously, this King of Queen of Cups combo, come on over, Cancer. Bring that energy over to the chariot, and friends. That's my channel, my other channel, where I do just all things Cancerian. My sun sign is in Cancer, and I do all things Cancerian. We discuss lunar shenanigans. It's a really fun time, Cancer, and all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get you out of here, because this is epic. The Magician. 1. I can't with you, Cancer. Wow, and air. Cancer, I can with you. Because here's the thing. The Magician, or the air. I don't even know, Cancer. If we, you know what? Yes, I do. If we have been in a place where, because I will say, if we are resonating with that, all that ace energy, there's nothing, I feel like, that's a really uncomfortable feeling when we have all this energy, when we know that there's a change that's wanting to happen, but we either don't listen to it, or we're not, or we're just pretty much we don't listen to it, or just get distracted by stuff. But if you're feeling anything like that, Cancer, give that some air. Let that energy breathe. Don't keep this bottled up here, Cancer, because here's the thing. If you get in a relationship, or if you stay in a relationship and we got all this bottled up energy, and we're not feeling fulfilled, we're not feeling heard, we're not feeling this, over time that's going to lead to resentments, and then you're going to get in a weird tower moment, and then this beautiful judgment thing that could have happened here becomes a tower moment, becomes a hanged man, and the energies become aggressive. And that's not me trying to scare you, Cancer, but it's just for me something to be mindful of, because if we're denying ourselves that stuff, then that's the energies that we're putting out there, the beacons that we're putting out for the universe, is saying that you don't want, that I don't want emotional fulfillment, that I don't want Ace of Wands. And I know that's not the case, Cancer, but if we have to be mindful of what we're manifesting. If we're just sticking in this energies here, that's not going to do you any good. That's like you got your arm, that's like you got a cut and you got all the things to heal yourself, but you're just looking at it. We got to take tools and do stuff, Cancer. Start putting some work into this energy here, because it's going to take some work, Cancer, doing this healing. But Cancer, it is going to be rewarding work. Ace of Pentacles. You saw that what happened. Of all the aces that came out here, your abundance. In Pentacles is more than just money. It's abundance in whatever you need at that moment. Energy, understanding, emotions. It's abundance. So go manifest that, Cancer. Let's start feeling free again. And then I tell you what, Cancer, all of your stuff from here on out is just going to be harmonious. I'm calling it. So Cancer, man, Stay safe out there, and geez, you raise your vibration to the moon, to Pluto. Oh, you know what? Before I get you out of here, we didn't pull a whole bunch of cards here. But if I had to guess, work with some energies that might, if we're looking for love, some energies that might be coming through here. Obviously, you got a lot of Cancerian energy coming through here. Some pretty strong Cancer cards. Got Pisces in the mix here. Random Pisces as your divine counterparts, or possibly Pisces. Maybe Scorpio, possibly a Gemini, Virgo. I'm getting like maybe some Virgo vibes coming in, possibly, but just kind of take it as it resonates, Cancer. But stay safe out there. And Cancer for real. I'm not Cancer. The next time we talk, I mean, let's take, because Cancer, this is unreal. You got a royal flush here, an ace flush here. Raise that vibration to the, just raise it. I don't even care where you raise it to. Just keep it raising. And I will catch you on the next one later.